and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I hope we are live right now and to this Valence League Division 3B. And on my side is the great JS, who will assist me in commentating this game.
Yeah, we've got a really good series, I think, ahead of us. Got an interesting game, don't we, Sylv?
Yeah, it's Bob Academy versus Team Orion, and both teams are in the middle of the standings right now. We have Bob Academy 1 win and 2 losses at 4th place, and Team Orion at 5th place with 1 win, 1 loss, and a forfeit. And that's really interesting because Team Orion, they have their loss against the 1st place team, who didn't drop a single game so far, and they have their only win against the last place team, OP Nerds Boomers. So this game really sets the footing.
And it's going to really help set up that standings, and we'll see who gets that edge in their opponent, because this will really help boost their standings depending on how many games they win as well. So Bob Academy have managed to take a game every time they've played a series, whereas Team Orion, even though they've taken 1 win, have lost just straight 2 games every time they've played. And we'll get into Champ Select now.
Yeah. It's going to be really interesting to see who's going to extend that series of having 3 games or 2 games right now. And we see the Tam Kent being banned first against the top laner of Team Bob, right? Yeah.
Oh, Bob.
Okay. Yeah, Team Bob.
Not surprised there. Tom Kent top lane, very disgusting. I feel like a lot of people just don't know how to play against it. There's the Yone ban coming out on that Legolas. There's 61% win rate on that. So actually has been transferred from support and has been moved from support to mid, but very, very successful on that Yone, and that's rightfully banned away. And of course, Bob have no bans because of due to a late roster submission, so unable to ban anything right now.
Yeah, that's very interesting right here, because current 34 is an absolute Vi main, and it usually gets banned. So let's see if he's gonna pick that one up for himself. We also... What else are we having? The Yuumi getting banned against Talon is something we also noted, because both supports of Team Bob Academy, they have 2 in their roster in total, play totally different champions. Talon playing the Yuumi, playing the Enchanters, while the other support is more on the engage support side, like Leona.
Yeah, and Yuumi is also just really annoying to play against, so it's a good take away from that. So into our first picks, and we're looking to see what's being picked up. It might be a... Oh, no, that's our last ban. So as we move into our picks, we may see a Viego pick up here. We might see the Gragas.
Ooh, a Swain, actually.
From
Do you think that's going to go towards Soul Breeze or towards something else, like Solo Lane Swain or Support Swain here?
Well, Nectar is very confident as a general mid laner. Doesn't seem to play that Swain, so he could be going over to Nequitas. But not too sure at the moment.
There's the Seraphine getting picked up. We all know how disgusting she is and how she's basically pick or ban in a lot of higher level games. And if she's allowed to scale up, she's gonna just run away with the game. I
mean, just hit that ult late game. It doesn't matter how well you do in the lane. It pretty much wins the game. Am I right?
Yeah, I play her myself, and that's pretty accurate here. The 4-man ults are a lot, and we're gonna see her in a Mumu, which points towards a more scaling composition and a team fighting for Team Bob Academy.
Horror does get his buy. Very, very, very confident on that pick. Is able to pull off some really strong performances on those, picking up MVP quite a few times in those. So very happy he'll be able to get his hands on that Vi pick. And because of the bans for game 1, where Bob aren't allowed to ban anything, does come through, and the Cho'Gath comes through. So very, very big comfort picks on the side of Team Orion, and it's looking like a very comfortable game for them so far in terms of their draft.
Yeah, they have a lot of comfort picks ready for themselves right now. And we see the Zenna getting picked up here, most likely for Frederick, but it could also go towards Talon. We don't know that yet. I have seen a few Zenna supports, but it's more likely for her to go ADC. And she's, in my opinion, the best ADC on the patch right now with the Kai'Sa nerfs coming in.
Absolutely, and that Kraken Slayer build, very, very strong. What, especially into tanks when you've got a really, really big juicy tank in the face of Cho'Gath. So you've got a really strong pick potentially here, but it is very, very squishy. So if it gets locked down by the Vi, that could be their tank killer destroyed. And a Mumu blind pick is chosen, but we know that um, generally go for the engage. They are the tank for the team always. So was going to pick engage and tankiness regardless.
So right now for Bob Academy, I see a lot of scaling, while the team Orion has a Swain and has a Vi, which is a little bit more early aggression. And I kind of missed that on Bob Academy. What is your take on that right now?
Well, we still have that mid lane pick to come through, and we still have that top lane. So we're waiting to see on what they pick up. If they pick up some early game, then they've got a good comp to just break into with the center scaling. Whereas if we look at Team Orion, they do have very, very good early mid game, and they do have that late game scaling in Cho'Gath. So depending on the carries that are picked up here, will pretty much depend on the side and what to decide which game is going to be in charge in late game.
There's a Darius getting picked up by the top laner of Bob, and I am. That's a little bit early aggression. That's what we wanted, but I'm not sure if he's really known for that type of champion. Yeah, he said that he's gonna pick whatever's needed, basically, but I don't see a single Darius game in his match history and on his profile.
Yeah, I haven't seen any Darius games in his history, so I'm not sure if they're just picking that totally for the first time. But I, I mean, into Cho'Gath, I can understand why, but if Cho'Gath gets ahead, it's going to be very, very difficult to deal with. If Senna doesn't get that early gold, and if she doesn't get scaling and rolling really quickly, then she's going to have a really hard time getting through that Cho'Gath.
And there's Zaya and Silas as the last two picks for Team Orion, and I must say I really like that Silas pick with the Amumu versus Seraphine ultimate. Very strong ultimates to steal, and it can be countered in the mid lane, but I think Silas is pretty strong here, right?
Silas, pretty strong. If the Galio comes through, really, really, really good ults for them to steal. I like the Silas pick. That is a really good counter engage from the Seraphine ult, the Mumu ult, Galio. They've got so many good potentials to steal, and I'm just really liking the shape of this comp. They're very, very early aggressive team. Orion have said they like playing aggressively, so this is definitely the way to put the pedal onto Bob and put the ball in the ballpark. Because if you just look at the team of Bob, that they've got that slow scaling center, but they want to just shut that straight down and just run the game straight to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I think that Team Orion has a really, really good comp here. They have some late game scaling, some team fight power, and they also have the early aggression to match whatever Team Bob Academy is throwing at them with the Mumu, with the Galio gangs. They can just steal the Galio ultimate, run behind it. I think they're gonna win everywhere on the map in the 2v2 and the 3v3, right?
Absolutely. And although Zaya's not exactly in the best spot at the moment, Sol is very confident on that Zaya pick. Very, very big performances on it and in his past games. And I think if he's allowed to scale as well, because he has very strong scaling going into the late game, if he's allowed to do that, if he gets the gold onto him, he's got a very, very big beefy front line in the Cho'Gath, and he's got Swain to stand in front of him. That if he manages to free hit, I think the game, based on team comp, will look very good for Team Orion.
Yeah, but you always have to keep in mind that the Vombo combo potential for Team Bob Academy is there. If a Seraphine ultimate lands into an Amumu ultimate, into a Galio, then you have a hard time, even if you have some champions that Team Orion has.
I definitely don't think we can count Bob Academy out there. Although their team comp doesn't have as much early aggression, if it does get into the late game, their ultimates could be very, very fatal towards the side of Team Orion. One pick could mean end of the game. But I'm just not seeing much damage, and I'm seeing a lot of early mid damage that will come from the side of Team Orion, and I don't know. And it's up to Bob to stifle that aggression early, and they'll have to play a bit more passively, but they can't let themselves get run over early game, otherwise it'll be game over for them.
Yes, Do you think we're gonna see the fasting Senna with a farming Seraphine, or do you think we're gonna see the Senna just farming away and the Seraphine playing a classic support gameplay right
Well,
now?
we know that Frederick, they like him to go scaling, and I I have a feeling they'll just go for the normal standard farming, not fasting, and I I mean it's quite difficult for Seraphine to farm securely sometimes,
Yeah.
especially once she's running low on mana and she doesn't have the mana to pop her abilities for that farm. So it's yeah, obviously we see it usually on with Tahm Kench or paired with like something like a set or something just a bit more tankier, so they can take that aggression whilst they're farming as well. So I think we're gonna just opt for just a straight farming game here, but I, I'm actually very scared for the side of Bob Academy if they get caught by one of that Swain pulls a lot of damage, because that could be followed up by the feathers from Salisbury. So it looks like you said, it's very scary lanes, but it obviously just depends how it pans out.
Yeah, and we gotta say that we talked to the team captain of Team Orion, and he said Inequitas is one of the players to look at, as well as Nectar on the silos. So both players have champions that are very flashy, that require a lot of skill, but can do a lot of work, and they trust these players completely, as it seems.
Yeah, and I think we should point out here that on patch 11.4 that the jungle's experience and gold has been quite heavily nerfed. So Amumu should be actually quite a strong pick here, and because it doesn't need too much to get going because its base damage is already just good. So I mean, Amumu can make some very good early plays, and if he gets early ganks off, then that will put Bob on the front foot, which is exactly what they'd be hoping for in a late scaling comp.
Yeah, as we are now getting into the game slowly, but surely, hopefully, as long as the client doesn't fail. You never know.
You never know. Like, if it's Clash, it's definitely gonna break.
It broke yesterday for me. Like once the client broke and once my PC broke.
Oh, the game's basically broken anyway. Why are we playing this?
Yeah, true. Just wait for Overwatch 2, right?
Oh, I mean, if you saw BlizzCon, that was an absolute. No one wants to play Overwatch anymore. It's broken. Sorry, Overwatch fans.
I'm actually in an Overwatch community and nobody plays it there. Like, nobody even talks about the game.
Overwatch is well and truly dead.
Yeah, it's completely down.
Just a bunch of Japanese.
And it's all Riot's fault, right?
Oh, of course. Riot just too good at this game to make any Overwatch players want to play Overwatch now.
Yep. And that's it. We're gonna get into the game, and hopefully we are synced perfectly. As we see that Seraphine is not moving. At least for me.
Seraphine's a bit out late, but you can see a very nice fan from Team Orion. They've gone to spread all entry points. Bob Academy are bunched as the 4-man right now. Probably going to get spotted by that ward. Do get spotted by that ward. So they'll probably just look.
What I would have liked to see right now is that the Silas or the Vi are going for a deep ward in the top side jungle. Oh, they're pinging it now. That's the standard procedure, and you might be better off explaining why this is good for Team Orion.
It gets early vision for the Vi, and the Vi wants to make early aggressive plays. It could even lead to an invade onto Dreadnoughts, because Amumu does go fairly low on his first clear, especially after taking that blue buff. It gets a bit of health back from the Gromp, but doesn't do too well into the solo camp. So if he opts to go to the red instead of going for Raptor straight after, Vi could potentially just look for that early invade.
Absolutely. And both junglers are starting on their bot side right now, and that means they are going towards the top side. And they could also meet at the crab, right?
They could. I'm not sure if they will. It depends on this playstyle, but judging by how Coron usually plays Vi and usually plays very aggressively, I'm looking for them to fight early.
We're straight from Nectar onto Legolas, and he's gonna trade back, and that's an easy win for the Galio at level 1.
That is a lot of damage coming down. Silas does have that corrupting potion though, and will heal up quite a lot. Very annoying.
Yeah, Swain A also connected right there, and Frederick's gonna be chunked a little bit, but he also has the healing of the Piercing Shadow available. Piercing Darkness.
We should point out that Legolas has been a very, very solid laner for the side of Bob. So as you can see, already pushed that wave in. Silas struggling to get that CS under the tower and starting to show dominance in that lane already.
Oh, next engage here from Inequitas, and Frederick's gonna be taken very low, gonna heal up, and he's still gonna fall, and that's first blood for the Swain, for Inequitas, for the star player here of Team Orion.
First blood already, pre-3 minutes, and money where they want it in the bot lane. Not on Soul Breeze, but money on Swain early is very, very scary. Can pop Sen off very, very quickly if he gets a few items under his belt.
And Nectar now going aggressive onto Legolas. The jungler is there. He's gonna become current with the Q, but Nectar already very low, and Legolas flashes away and wins the trade in total. Another Swain he connects right there, and that's a Zaya damage, and he's gonna survive very close here.
We see that early aggression from Corrin. Only 3 minutes in, ganks in the mid lane, and we'll go for that Scuttle Bro on the bot side. But that does leave up the Scuttle for Dreadnoughts to get, so that he's in safety there. Oh, here we go again.
So this time, nothing else gonna happen. They're gonna get out of this alive. And Divide did a very strange jungle clear. She started on the red buff, then went for the blue buff for the wolves, and then ganked. So he's coming ganking now, ganking once again. But Legolas gonna survive this one. Will go back and then probably TP after that wave, while Mumu gets the Skull Crab and gets to farm up.
Yeah, I like how you pointed out that. Oh wait, hold that thought.
Hero, very low, but there's the Darius damage going out, and that's gonna be the passive. So blood, it is enough, and that's a kill for Dreadnoughts, who's coming down and securing that one. I don't think he needed that.
So Darius first time or Darius main? Hello? He's absolutely having his way with Hero up there.
Yeah. And that's right now points to a 300 gold lead for Bob Academy. Because while they got first blooded, the Mumu picked up a lot of farm. The Vi is very far behind in the jungle clear department, and the Mumu gets the first blood, and that makes it very hard for Corrin to catch up to the Mumu right now, who's already about 600 gold ahead.
Yeah, so I also got some time to talk about. You briefly picked up on it, that Corrin decided to go bot side, despite knowing the fact that Dreadnoughts had cleared bot side, started there first. So not quite sure what the reasoning was behind that. I guess he picks up the skulls for bot side, but whilst that's going on, Dreadnoughts takes his whole top side, manages to get all of his camps cleared, and importantly gets that level 1 Krugs reset, so his Krugs will be in a good place for the next time he takes them, and Corrin just way behind the curve right now.
Yeah, good upfront by the top laner of Bob Academy, hits the Q as well, but can't follow up on this, is too slow right now. Doesn't have the Stride Breaker yet, which I expect to come out to close the distance, but very good lane for the Darius against the Shogat.
Talked about it earlier, and actually I'm wrong. Frederick has opted to go for the Fasting Center build, so Seraphine actually ahead of farm in Zaya despite the kills, going down onto the bot side first. And you can see that gold has actually swung in the way of Bob Academy at the moment.
Yeah, Vi is now catching up past the jungle, of course. There's a good encore here, but that's gonna be dodged out of the way, and Corrin also was again on the way towards the bot side.
Yeah, and Corrin only backing now, whilst Mumu already has that Bami Cinder, so on that 40 CS already far ahead, as his root completely pan will pick up the Scuttle bot side as well, but to break it easily with his paper toss. So looking very, very good on the side of Bob right now, especially on a team that wants to scale and is looking to scale later on in the game as well.
A few more good trades in the bot lane, but I don't think that's benefited anyone because Frederick got taken very low, as well as Soul Breeze. I'm not sure if he can heal this up fast enough. As I want to mention now, Legolas is level 6 on the Galio, so Team Bob Academy uses that for a dragon.
Oh, gonna fight on the top side.
From the Darius.
I think this is a dead Cho'Gath.
Oh, I'm not sure about that one. The silence going in. There's the ultimate of the Darius, and that's enough to get the next kill for the Darius. And he's now way ahead in farm and way ahead in CSs, in kills as well.
Okay, so let's just quickly talk about the state of the game, because we're already 7 minutes in, and we've got a massive lead growing up in the top lane. Doesn't pick up the plate, but he's already doubling CS, and he's got a kill under his belt, and Cho'Gath is not looking in a good place. Wants to scale, and will scale if given that time, but it's going to struggle very, very much so in that Darius lane. Oh, and then we got another fight again.
There's the Q landing once again, but Hero, he has ultimate, so he might be able to turn this around. Is he gonna turn it around? Yes, but he's gonna die for it? No? Maybe yes?
The bleed?
No, he's not. The bleed is enough, and that's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. Very greedy from the top laner of Bob Academy, but it works out in the end. He still has teleport, while Hero has not.
Yeah, I don't know if it's too greedy in the end, because like you said, he's got TP, so he can come back, control the wave, and Hero just TP'd back into the lane, so I don't know if that's the fight he really wanted to take, because he loses out so much.
He's gonna be taken very low, and that's gonna be another kill for Frederick this time, and the 2v2 in the bot lane is horrible wrong for Team Orion as well. The only strong side loses right now in the 2v2.
Action everywhere, Sylph, and we keep going again.
Yeah, Current going in, hitting the Q, hitting the flash, gets exhausted, gets a Mumu ulted instantly, has ult not available, and that's another kill for Dreadnought, who has the experience advantage, was level 6, and managed to pick that one up.
I'm not sure about that from Coron. Sylph decides to go into 3 people, despite the fact that Mumu still has ult, gets ulted and just gets absolutely blown up. What's he doing?
And that's a massive lead for Team Orion, for Bob Academy right now. I wanted to say before that fight in the bot lane that right now we have a strong topside lead for Bob Academy, while Team Orion was at least ahead in the bot side, but that's now completely out of the window. Bob Academy way ahead everywhere.
Right, so we're already reaching just the 10-minute mark in a minute, and we've got a late game scaling comp who already are 2k, 3k nearly ahead of their opponent, and it's not looking good for the side of Team Orion, is it?
We've seen that the Vi is pinging towards the top side of the map, but I'm really not sure if if they could take the fight even 1v2 against the Darius. Who of course has the Noxie and Guillotine available and can easily turn around a gank in my opinion. Oh, more trades in the bot lane, but nothing's gonna happen out of this. Oh, good route here from Soul Breeze.
Alright, so we've seen some very, very aggressive plays already on the side of either teams. And if you're the side of Team Orion, you definitely want to be making those aggressive plays, but they just seem like they're just a bit disjointed and synergy's not quite there. And you can see, remember we were talking earlier that they're a relatively new team, and I think we can see that they're on a different page, it seems to be at the moment.
Yeah, and Bob Academy completely up in gold, completely up in game state, and their morale must be high once again, as it usually is according to their team members.
Yeah, of course. When we talked to the captain of Bob earlier today. Oh, hold that thought.
Oh, that's gonna miss, and that's nothing gonna happen. That's the core missing, so.
But as we were saying, just when we're talking to the captain of Bob, he said they're gonna win, no question. Bob doesn't lose. We just sometimes let our opponents win. Not
this time though, as it seems. And in the mid lane, we also have an advantage for Legolas, who's way ahead of Nectar on the Silas. Gonna trading once against Nectar, steals the ultimate. There's the Vi coming in, there's Corin. He's gonna ult, and that should be a kill for... No, it's not. Very good dodge from Legolas with the hero's entrance, dodging everything, going back onto Nectar, and Nectar gonna fall here. No, Corin very, very low, has no flash, and that's gonna be the Vi getting killed here by Darius.
Pops in your face.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly don't see much of a way back into the game for Team Orion.
Oh, good route once again, but Talon just survives, and it doesn't seem like you have the damage right now. And Equitas always with good ease on the Swain, but the damage is not there to kill someone through the Xena and the Seraphine, of course. But that was an insane dodge by Legolas on the Galio. Like, really, he dodged really nice everything there.
Got the happy feet on today, boys. But definitely very nice from the side of Bob. They moved up very quickly, we were able to respond to that Coron gank, and even though he's on a comfort pick, hasn't been able to get anything off really.
Now, they decide to go for the dragon alone, and it feels like Bob Academy is a little bit late to that, so they might be able to pick up that Infernal Drake as the second dragon of the game. Smite use, they numb it down, and that's gonna be the break.
I like that, getting some early stacks onto Cho'Gath that aren't minions, so we'll be able to stack some more of those in the top lane, but it looks all to play for right now, Sylvan. The scaling comp is looking very, very good right now.
Of course, 4,000 gold ahead for Bob Academy. No mythics just yet. Oh, the Stridebreaker is finished for the Darius as we expected. So what mythics do you expect here for Galio? Is it gonna be the Proto Belt or the Rocket Belt? Sorry.
I'm assuming it'll be the Rocket Belt. Gives him a bit more mobility, especially with the E, and gives him a bit more of a gap close. So look, oh, hold that thought.
Good damage here, and Equitas lands another E, and Frederick is gonna go down once again, and Equitas grabs it for themselves. A little bit unfortunate here for Team Orion that they can't give the gold to a carry, but once again, Swain with early gold is really good. Meanwhile, Legolas picks up the third plate of the game in the mid lane.
Frederick just a bit too far forward there from his team. You can see that Seraphine and Amu were nowhere near him, and just gets totally caught out, and there's great positioning from the side of Team Orion to pick him off.
And that's how you get back into a game like this. You just have to get pick after pick, right?
Exactly, and you can see so much vision. You can see those 3 control wards all around that Dragon Pit. Oh, 1 second.
Oh, the Darius going in once again. Hierro has to flash, and the E does not connect off the Darius.
So just take a look at the gold difference in between top lane. You can see that Darius sitting on nearly 6k, and Cho'Gath nearly on 3. So nearly doubled in gold, and he's the whole item behind. It's not going to be a fun game for him in that top side.
Another trade in the bot lane, but this time nothing's happened. There's no reinforcement for Team Orion, so they decide to back away. But the Darius once again with a very good trade. There's a Vi going in with the ultimate. The battery going down. But Turtle can do so much damage here. Gonna take it down. There's Dreadnought going in, hitting the Q. Has the ultimate. Galio ultimate coming down soon. The flash does not connect. Darius flashing away, but they get out of this with 2 flashes in a row.
Very scruffy fight, but no one dies in the end. But to be honest, I think the loser in that outcome is Hero, because just
in the bot lane, that's a kill. In the 2v2 once again, that has to be the Swain landing the E, and then Soul Breeze lining that up with the root.
Soul picking up the gold here, and like you said, if they want to get back into the game, that's who they want the gold on, and any money onto Soul would be greatly appreciated right now on that Xayah, and definitely able to carry the game, I feel, if the game gets late enough and he has enough peel for him with that fat Cho'Gath.
Yeah, and that's some good things for Orion here. Getting slowly but surely back in the game. The Herald is getting summoned in the mid lane. Not sure if that's gonna reach. Oh, it will, right? Ah, maybe not.
Should hit.
Galio going in onto Nectar. There's an Equitas coming down. Good dodge once again, and actually ulting here just to prevent Legolas from going back in, and the Herald does absolutely nothing for Bob Academy.
That is a really good defend there. And what you'll notice is that despite the fact that there's a massive... The majority of the gold lead here, right, is coming from the top lane, so and that 3k built up by that Darius. So across the board, everyone else isn't too far behind. And in fact, Xayah actually has far more gold in the bot lane, and that bot lane 2v2 is looking very, very strong right now. So if anything, Team Orion need to play through their bot side, need to make sure that the gold is going onto the Xayah, and I think that'll be able to carry them through as long as they can stunt the bleeding in top lane, and hopefully Hero can get some farm and can be able to get some stacks under his belt.
Yeah, as we see now, the first mythic items are all complete. The Sunfire for the Mumu, so obviously Moonstone. Now Legolas going in once again. Good combo here, but he doesn't have the damage right now. Galio is not the best champion in just one-shotting someone.
Oh, I mean, if you've seen full AP Galio when he's fed, if you're squishy...
True. But he's not fed, he's just pretty at the end. But there's a Vi going in for the battery, and that's gonna be the Silas going back in as well, and Legolas is sure to fall here. Gonna give the kill to Nectar. There's the reinforcement coming in from Bob Academy, but they can't get it quite. Another good kill for Team Orion.
I like this from Corin. Early aggression wasn't too great for him, but he's still continuing to make his picks. Is a ganking jungler, so really needs to make sure he's doing more of that, and he's definitely getting it paid off because he's getting that gold onto his carries as well.
Yeah, good beat drop here by Talon in the bot lane to win the trade, but there's a Nevermore hitting once again. And Equitas is gonna be taking very low. The ultimate from Talon hits. The ultimate from Xayah prevents a lot of damage here, and the bot lane of Bob Academy seems to get away. But then Equitas gets rooted once again, will die here. The Falling Dawn is enough to finish off the kill. Flashing in a straight line is not the move right there in Equitas.
And the TP comes down, and they might just look for Drake here after this fight. Cho'Gath has made his way down as well, so Darius just continues to take that.
Oh, Nectar going in on talent, and he's gonna get the next kill this time. Team Orion once again striking back here, and it actually doesn't feel like a 4,000 gold lead for Bob Academy. Maybe because they don't hit their spikes yet, but it really doesn't feel like it, right?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, flash in, and that's a kill onto the center, and they're gonna follow it up with the Galio ultimate. And Bob Academy totally gonna win this fight. Nectar's already dead. The Wombo combo coming in after the getting catched by the center. Darius is also there. That's another kill on the backside of the fight. Shogun managed to pick up one, but that's a 4-4-2 for Bob Academy.
That was a massive overstep from Orion, and just suddenly you've got a whole dead team.
Yeah, Nectar saw the one-shot here onto the center, gets it, but afterwards there's the Wombo combo going down. The Amumu ultimate hits 3 people, and the Galio ultimate just follows up. Meanwhile, Darius hitting away, getting the ultimate resets, and that's a very good trade here.
And there we see the strength of Bob Academy's squad, where they get all their ultimates off, where Mumu held in 3 in place was, well, we're just gonna say Bob Top here, but Bob Top here had his way with Zaya in the jungle over there, so they're not protecting their carries, and they're just completely on different wavelengths right now. Initial really good pick, and that's what we want them to be doing, but if you let Bob group up and just have their way, while Darius just does Darius things to you, then it's going to be very hard to break the side of Bob.
Yeah, what happened there? Nectar hit it. Like, first he got the Seraphine, very good kill there, but then he went onto the Senna. The Senna has the least gold of all of the members from Bob Academy, and flashing in for it and dying is not worth it at this point, right?
No, absolutely not, and it's a good takeaway from the team, but it's not worth it when you lose your whole game, so...
Yeah, Darius in the top side, getting the next to it, but Nectar is there. They want to get that kill onto the Darius, but that's very risky. And yeah, they just step away here. Getting the Herald is the top priority right now, and Corin is already there.
I mean, if we look at the comps for a second, it's pretty much what the team's promised us, isn't it? Team Orion liked their early game aggression, and Bob liked their scaling. They look for Frederick to do the job in the late game, and he's definitely scaling up, but you've already got an early game strong Darius, you've got Galio who's putting out... Oh my gosh!
The Dawning Shadow is not enough to get that kill here, and the Swain just barely survives, has to reset, and Xayah getting the Crux for herself, and that's another engage from Corin onto the Darius, but the Rupture misses, and that's gonna be a kill for Crux, who's gonna finish this off. Massive overstep.
Flashes over as well and just dies to the bleed. Isn't that the worst feeling?
Yeah. But I don't know, why are you going onto the Darius? He's like notoriously attempted Ken 2v1, especially when ahead, and you are going behind with your Vi, who's, I don't know, level 9 to level 13? Or level 10?
And we see 2 items actually completed here on the Darius, whilst Vi had that Divine Thunderer, so decided to go into that, I think bit off a little bit more than he could chew, and rightly dies for it.
Yeah, also the Rupture missed from the Shogat is not enough to protect the Vi at all. And then you go back in. That was a little bit weird. Herald now summoned by Team Orion. I think that was shortly timing out, and it's going towards the bot lane.
Still, Darius has 10k. Cho'Gath has 5k.
Oh no.
He is very scary. With that extra shield from the Sterax, even if they think he's getting him low, he's going to pop up, and then they're going to be able to pop that with the healing as well. So very hard for Xayah to be able to pop the not even just the front line. Can't even get to the stand at the moment. So, oh, here we go.
Corin not getting the damage done. There's another Q. Will it land? No, good dodge by Frederick. Galio ultimate coming in here. Corin gonna get rooted up right now. There's the Galio ultimate from the Silas coming in, and that's a re-engage here onto Frederick. Frederick will fall, and that's another kill for Team Orion. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, there's Dreadnoughts coming in, and he's gonna have to run. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but there's Darius coming in. He's gonna be an absolute raid boss. No, he misses everything and runs away, and in the end, it's a 1-for-1.
You know, I can't tell. I thought that was going to be so good for the side of Bob when Darius joined the fight, but like you said, just missed
Yeah.
absolutely everything, and then it's just like, well, that's that then.
And a 1-for-1, that's actually one of the good things for Team Orion. The best I can hope for. They have some Dragon control right now, but Dragon is still a long way to go with 50 seconds, so they have to back away.
Do you think Seraphine will pick up that Putrefier? As we know that the changes to Putrefier, Chemtech Putrefier were very, very strong. I mean, we see that Staff of the Flowing Water, so Moonstaff build has been picked up, so a lot of healing coming down, despite the fact that Moonstone was slightly nerfed, but I don't think that matters once she's picked out that Staff of the Flowing Water, and a lot of healing will be coming out of it. So, do you think she'll go for that Chemtech Purifier?
I'm not sure, it doesn't seem like it. Do you think she should? Because, I mean, you're the expert here. She's going for the tier right now, and I think she's gonna build that up, but maybe she should go for the Putrefier. On the other hand, you have the Galio already having an Oblivion Orb, so...
I mean, you've got Cho'Gath, Silas, and Thwain on the side of Orion. I think Anti-Heal definitely needs to be bought. It is on the side of Galio, but... I mean, if she buys that, that's just Anti-Heal for everyone.
I mean, yeah, so you think she should 100%?
I reckon she should, but...
Should she do it before the tier upgrade, or...?
Oh, definitely,
after?
I think before the tier upgrade.
Okay.
She's got that stack, so... Won't
on the dragon right now, Orion going in, but that's the blue team getting the dragon actually. A huge ultimate from the Seraphine, a huge movement ultimate as well. The Galio can't get into the fight, and they're gonna get 1-for-1 so far, but the Darius is gonna fall. That's a big shutdown onto Soul Breeze, and no, actually onto Iniquitas. The arrow has to back off. That's a messy fight right now. Legolas is absolutely there, current very low. We see the side of Orion is low. What a huge taunt here by the Galio. That's a 3-for-1, 4-for-1, 4-for-2 actually, 5-for-2 in the end, and that's an 8 for Bob Academy.
What just happened there? For 1 minute I thought, you know, Team Orion are going to win it, and then Bob just turned it around with that 3-man taunt from Legolas. Oh, so big.
Also a huge ultimate from Talon to start this fight, and also from the Mumu.
Absolutely.
But then it looked really good for Team Orion for a moment. It looked as they could win the fight, but in the end, the carries from Bob Academy untouched, getting kill after kill in the end. And yeah, that increases the lead, but the dragon went to Team Orion.
Yeah. But, I mean, we talked about anti-heal. I don't even think they need the anti-heal right now. They have so much damage coming out from the side that Team Orion just don't even have the chance to just heal up. Well, they're just dead before they know it.
I mean, I'm not really sure if they need the anti-heal. I mean, the Swain heals a lot, right? And the Silas kinda has a burst heal, but the Shogun won't heal in the fights, right? He's healing off minions.
Grasp, and he's got the minions, but I think it's still necessary for the Silas, but Galio has that Oblivion Orb, so it doesn't look like Putrefier we need to be picked up anytime soon at this point. And I guess maybe later stages in the game where Silas will be putting out a lot of healing from that W, but aren't too many healing sources. It means Zaya will be healing up as well, but not as greatly as Swain and the Silas. But definitely, anti-heal definitely needed, but I think they don't need it right now, especially in the case of the side of Orion, where a lot of damage just comes out.
Yeah, it seems like the Seraphine is going for the AP build, picking up the Magi's, and the needlessly large ward seems to go for the
very aggressive build. I do like that though, because they've got a very big front line, so if she's able to stay safe, get a really big ultimate, and then a lot of damage will be coming through on her side as well.
On the other hand, we have the Senna going for Kraken Slayer into the most likely way to play, but that's another engage, that's an Encore, and the Dawning Shadow hitting. There's also the Mumu ultimate going down, that's a 1-for-1 right now, but it seems like Team Orion wins the fight in a 3v5, and it's gonna turn out to be a 1-for-1 in a 3v5, so a little bit of an overstep by Bob Academy, but it works out in the end.
Yeah, I mean, if Bob Top managed to actually get that flank off, would have been absolutely huge there, I think. I think it would have been game, and the Baron maybe they just take the momentum to Orion, but isn't in position, and I think Bob's looking slightly out of coordination there.
Yeah, Legolas, of course, was in the bot lane, pushing up that one, while Nectar was joining his team. Oh, the taunt will not connect. Good for Nectar. Ooh, you don't want to take that if you're
And we've got another fight.
Right now the Shogun is tanky enough, has double armor, triple armor actually, so he's gonna be very hard to kill for the Darius, even though the Darius will win every single fight.
Yeah, what you can see, Silv, is that there's a lot of vision topside on the Baron.
Ooh, flash from Legolas, and that's a great combo from him, and they're gonna get one and they're gonna get another. Corrin just is paper right now. Gets one-hitted completely.
There is just so much damage, like we said, coming out from the side of Bob, and there's no answer for it really, is there?
Now you're 2 members down. Barbican, he pushes the wave but decides to back off, which I'm not really sure about. But 10 more Magi stacks, I think, for the Seraphine. No, 7 more.
I have to say, Legolas has been hitting some very, very big taunts in these fights. Looking for picks, looking for that big team fight engage. Just very, very good use of that Galio.
And I've gotta say that Bob Academy impresses me playing towards the win condition. Like, the top laner is doing exactly what he should. He's winning the lane, he's then pushing down the top lane. Meanwhile, in the team fights, Talon, every single fight seems to be hitting a 3 or 4 man ultimate, and Dreadnought just follows it up. And yeah, they seem to play coordinated in total.
Yeah, and like you said, he's just doing his job. He's very, very strong. He's going to be very, very annoying on the side of Team Orion, and it's very hard to deal with right now. He's picked up that Spectre's Cow, so can deal with the AP threats, and the AD threats aren't really doing much to him, especially that shield from Sterak. So looks like we're going to have a fight over this ocean, though.
Yeah, what do you think does Team Orion has to do to get back into this game and win it, maybe?
I'll just play around their vision, and they have to just look for picks with their comp, really. They've got good pick potential, but I think they're just going to give this dragon over.
Ooh, Corrin tries to steal. That gets out with a flash immediately.
I like that. Hi, bye.
Nectar has a Mumu ult, and Mumu Q misses Darius running around. And I think Bob Academy wants to fight, but Team Orion just runs away here.
I'm not too sure if that. I like the attempt. I respect it, but I'm not sure if it was worth the flash. But at this point, I guess they have to try something, because, I mean, once I think Bob gets soul, then it's going to be very, very difficult to tear through them, especially on that side of Darius, who can keep healing once he stays in that battle.
And what? Oh, here right now, and they're gonna get the Shogun in. They're gonna ult him, and they're gonna take him down. Meanwhile, the taunt is once again hitting Soul Breeze very, very low. Will fall to the Darius in the end. Dreadnought will look for the Q, does not find it, but there's the Darius E hitting right now, and that's the ultimate, and he's gonna just get slaughtered by the BLT. And that's another 3-0 and the Baron.
Straight to Baron, and they're just on the same wavelength. You see the difference between a team that's been together for quite a while and a team that's still very, very new. So just completely sure of what their plan is, and had not that much vision on the side of the top side, but just that one control ward was enough. And Team Orion just a bit hasty to step there and just got caught. And again, Legolas hitting the taunt onto the soul, just can't do anything.
Yeah, now the Baron is gone, and what do you think should Bob Academy look to do with this Baron? Will they go for like team fighting once again, or will they split with the Galio and the Darius?
I think they could go opt for a 1-3-1. You stick the Amumu with Seraphine and Senna. You have the Galio in the mid lane just to help make sure that he can ult whoever needs to get caught, and both top lane and mid have teleports, so could collapse very quickly as well. So I think they just need to split on that 1-3-1, stick a movement with that bot lane, and it's going to be very, very hard for the sort of Team Orion to deal with.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they seem to go for, with Darius in the top lane actually, and the Galio now going mid lane. Dreadnought, however, is far away still, and maybe Team Orion can look for an engage here.
Yeah, they're looking a bit over pushed for them, but Team Orion look a bit undecisive, and you can see they're a bit of outsourced. They don't really know what to do. They're very, very far behind. You can see that.
Just a one shot here by Talon. 25 Magi stacks, 3.5 items, 4.5 items actually. And Frederick is also hitting away with all the souls he picked up. We didn't mention that yet.
See that range coming from Senna. 119 souls picked up. So A lot of range coming out from there.
Another CC chain going out here onto Curran, and he's gonna die again. Beat drops from Talon now on point right now. And that's the first inhibitor going down. That will be the second one in the mid lane. And you might lose all 3 inhibitors.
Extra 150 range on that center right now with over 120 souls. And they keep coming. Look at them just picking up. And honestly, I think this is it for Team Orion.
Yeah, that seems to be it. They get another kill onto the Shogat. And they are just cleaning house. The Galio flash in, going for the Xayah, who's actually gonna get out of the way here. And that's another really good encore here. That's another good fight for Bob Academy. They want to finish this game. The 2 kills for Necrotas actually. They're gonna hold on here maybe. No, they're not. And that's gonna be Nectar going down. And Corin is here alone. Will go in, but it's just, he just can't survive. So Darius lives and Soul Breeze gonna fall. And that's the ace for Bob Academy. And that's a game as well. GG.
And there we go, there we go. We saw, and we said, didn't we? If a late game scaling comp gets ahead already in the first 10 minutes of the game, it's not looking good for the side of Team Orion at all. Who wanted to play early, wanted to play that aggressive, but they couldn't make their picks early. They couldn't get that early gold onto the Xayah. And Cho'Gath had an absolutely torrid time into this Darius pick, who we did not see coming at all, because it wasn't picked up at all. But well played to the side of Bob, and they've played that out beautifully.
And as we see the post-game lobby right now, I believe also on stream, so we can check the damage done right now, and we see the Seraphine actually doing the most damage into the game. We talked about it, it's a disgusting champion, and it shouldn't be left open, and if you leave it open, you better not get it on red side. I'm really surprised about that, to be honest.
Yeah, especially not being a first pick, but also if they don't make adjustments to their ban phase now, because remember, Bob didn't get 3 bans in the beginning, so if Team Orion don't change their strategy and they don't switch it up, and if they want to leave that Seraphine open, they've got a lot to think about, but then that also gives room for that Yone to potentially come up. I don't think Yone is going to get through.
Yeah, and we should go in a short pause, I believe. If production could tell me if that's true, we can go there every second. Or maybe not, so let's talk a little bit more about the game. What do you think should Team Orion do right now? What should they maybe ban or pick in the next game to make adjustment?
Honestly, if you're on the side of Team Orion, quite a lot to think on the drawing board. I think they had the right idea, and they were just trying to look for the plays, but they just didn't seem like they were on the same page with one another. And Corin was making a lot of plays with the Vi, very, very aggressive, looking for those early ganks, looking for those ults onto the mid lane, but it seemed slightly. So there was a gank on the mid lane where Silas had no mana and still went for it anyway. Really odd pathing, and you pointed that out as well from Corin on that Vi, and not quite sure the reasoning behind that, but allowed that Amumu to get just farm and plow ahead and get his items, had the tempo. So I think moving forward, they need to just assess their early game strategy. They want to make the plays, have to make sure they're on the same page of making them. And I mean, that also just means that maybe they need to. Honestly, they have to think about the Darius. Do they leave the Darius up now?
I believe that Team Orion is on the red side next game, so they can leave the counter pick open for top lane. And picking Darius blind is really, really dangerous.
Of course.
So that could be an issue here. But maybe they just say, yeah, we top diff once again here and believe in the top lane and just pick him. And Corin,
they've got lots of. I don't think they want to leave the Tahm Kench up as well. That's the problem. Tahm Kench is very, very annoying to play into, and we've seen that Bob Top has been able to just take over the lane himself. Doesn't really need the jungle pressure. So if he gets that comfort pick, could potentially just snowball the game.
And Corin, 1-9 on his biggest comfort pick, needs to watch out that he can also pick another champion maybe.
So we're just going to head into a short break. So just keep tuned for the next game.
All right. Then we're gonna be right back and see you in a few minutes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to hopefully the second game soon TM in the Valence League Division 3, where Bob Academy has taken the lead against Team Orion. And we will see Team Orion, as it seemed, once again on the blue side, so no change-ups here. As we hopefully soon get into the draft, both teams are seemingly ready right now.
But yes, whilst we've got some time, let's just talk about what we just witnessed. An absolute slaughter, Sylv. What were your impressions of that game?
I mean, Team Orion had a few good moments when they were already behind, but in the end it was way, way too much to get back into the game after this disastrous early gank from Corin, where he just fell way too behind, and then the solo lanes, the Darius onto the top lane of Bob Academy and the mid lane are both edging ahead and ahead, right?
Yeah, we just mentioned it briefly just before we ended, and I'm gonna just mention it again. I don't understand the reasoning behind that jungle route. It made no sense at all when they know it's an Amumu. He's never gonna start red side unless something disastrous happened in the early game. But he knew that he went for that camp clear, and he just went to check the camps and not getting anything out of it. So, I mean, what we need to see now is him adapt to that. If he gets the Vi again, I'm pretty sure he might because, he might not actually because Bob will get banned in the beginning of the draft. So that might even get taken away from him. And if he was looking like that on a comfort pick, then I hope he'll be able to show something else.
After that game, would you even ban that?
Do you know what? If I was Bob, I wouldn't ban it. I would say, go on, pick it, and show me that you can do better on it, because it wasn't anything to be scared of, and they had complete control of that game. And Dreadnoughts was just up in tempo, had the ganks getting off himself, was there to counter gank a lot of the time, and like you said, not very scary.
Yeah, and I would give a shout out to Dreadnought because I was worried about him in this matchup because he's by far the lowest elo player in this game. Meanwhile, Talon by far the strongest, so I was a little bit worried, but he played it as good as he could.
Yeah, for sure. And despite, like you said, being in the lower elo, didn't make a change to how they had a clear game plan, and they stuck to the game plan, and had tempo in the early game as a Mumu, by the way, over Vi, which is really an impressive feat, and then was also just there to counter gank a lot of the times, and just had really good ultimates. Had a really, really good 3-man ult, which locked down a good member of the Team Orion team, and it just left Soul to get absolutely just sat on by Bob Top and the Darius. So we want to see changes here. What sort of changes are you looking to see from the side of Team Orion?
I would say they should make sure that they get a good top lane matchup, but that's gonna be very hard because the last time they just blind picked the Shogun, and in the end, the Darius just hard countered it, and that basically makes them run away with the game on the side of Bob Academy. They had both solo laners had pressure. In the bot lane, it was very hard for Team Orion to do anything, even though they had a little bit of a 2v2 solo kills, but in the end, it's Senna and Seraphine who will just heal a lot of the damage up.
I'll tell you the answer now. Timo.
Oh. Right. Yes, the answer is obviously always... the answer is always Shaco support, right?
You know what? That's disgusting. I hate that. I really, really hate that pick. You can see how much I hate it. It's just...
They also have a Heimerdinger for a moment, so maybe that's gonna be a good answer.
That's also cancer. Okay, so Legolas isn't gonna get his Yone. Being very, very good on that. We're expecting that. I want to see what comes through on the bans now, since they should. Ude gets banned. So there you go. They're not scared of the Vi. They're saying, you know what? Ude is more of a meta champ. Is more scary if he's able to get ahead. Pick your Vi. There's a Seraphine ban.
Yeah.
Swain?
If you don't play it, you have to ban it. I mean, and Equitas was really good on the Swain last game. He had really good kills, so...
For sure, absolutely, and was causing a bit of problems for that bot lane. Yumi does get banned off once again, unsurprisingly, but I think I like the fact that Bob are now able to ban, and we can just see them showing some respect to some of the picks that were shown last game.
Yeah, and the last ban will be the victor. So once again, showing respect to Nectar.
Yeah, absolutely. Nectar's got a very high win rate on that Victor, so definitely able to show that respect, even though he didn't pick it up last time.
And I already like that. They're gonna pick up the Senna, which basically removes the ability for the bot lane to play the same combo at all, because one is banned, one is picked away, and Senna, in my opinion, the strongest AD carry, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think Kai'Sa very, very scary if she gets early gold because she will just murder you with an empowered Q. But Senna definitely very strong, very safe as well. Especially when you got a front line like you did in last game. So I'm liking that adaptation from the side of Team Orion.
They left Tam Kench open though.
Oh, that is a very good point. And we know that Bob Top is a disgusting Tahm Kench player.
You can pick it now. Otherwise, I think that maybe Team Orion will just pick the Tahm Kench for the bot lane. They pick a Mumu once again.
They may pick it in the third rotation, but I like that. It worked last game. Let's just run it again.
I mean, the chat is saying Tam won't happen, but I mean, the Bob Top told us different. He would like to play it, right? We should hype the hell out of it, he said.
I'm looking forward to it. I want to see it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I find it disgusting, but I want to see it. Oh,
there's Sejuani, so that's a tank versus tank matchup in the jungle.
So, Koron's not known for his Sejuani. I haven't seen a history of it being played at all, so I'm going to be very, very interested to see how this goes. Also, I reckon that Senna's going to be moved on to an Equitus. Solbury's not really a player of that Senna, so judging from past history, I reckon that might move on to an Equitus. Yeah, and then we see the Caitlyn pick up, so that is a very, very annoying bot lane, very, very pokey in that early stages of the game. Do we get the Tahm Kench, Sif? Do we get the Tahm Kench?
The chat says no, so I'm gonna say I don't think we will see it. They're not gonna pick it right now. They go for a Leona here. I like that Leona pick, though. I think with Tahm Kench, you just get pushed in and you do nothing against Senna Caitlyn, right?
Well, I mean, like, if it was Tahm Kench top lane, so...
Oh, yeah, true.
I mean... they switched up, they... Poke lane, they decided to go, we're going to fight you with Jhin and Leona, we're going to go onto you very aggressively. A bit different, actually, from their typical late game scaling. Oh, there's the Darius adaptation. Definitely feel like they have to respect that. Cho gets taken away as well.
Just shown respect to heroes, though.
Do we get the Singed here? He's a Singed player. And plays Set as well. So maybe that gets picked up on the side of top lane. If that gets picked up, I feel like Tahm Kench is definitely going to come through if it doesn't get banned here.
What about Lulu? He's also playing Lulu. I mean,
what?
They banned Orion before. That's a fist for Legolas. Wow. Blind as well.
Very, very brave, but is a very confident Fizz player. If he doesn't usually get the Yone, he does go onto the Fizz and sees a very, very squishy bot. Oh, don't pick the Lucian.
I don't see the Sejuani in this comp.
I don't actually.
They have so much Oh, Diana. Okay, that makes more sense with the Sejuani. If they pick the Corki or Zoe there, they have like 3 poking sieging champions as a Sejuani who wants to go in. And now blind pick top lane.
Aatrox. What does he go for?
I see the Lulu. I see the Lulu here. He's played it before in solo queue at least. He's going for that, right?
It is the Set. Cinch? No, he's definitely going for the Set. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. They've got a bit of a front line in the Sejuani, and the Set just going to be running in, and Diana's just going to be running in. But then, like you said, doesn't completely make sense with their bot lane. But I guess they've got a really big distraction in the form of Set in your face, Diana running into you, Sejuani running into you. Is this just going to be? Oh god!
Another stomping lane. Win game for Bob Top.
A very snowbally top lane on either side.
And a very snowbally mid lane on either side.
Yes, absolutely. So if any kills go over to either of those mid laners, it's going to look very, very dangerous for that. But I'm looking particularly at that bot lane of Team Orion. Very, very, very squishy. And Garen, although very, very tanky, does an obscene amount of damage, and requires a lot of skill to press R, of course, to give you that Demacian justice. So, uh, what comp are you favouring here?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I think if we look at the coordination that was shown by Bob Top, I think it's very hard for Orion, who at times seems to be a little bit mispositioned, to win this game here. Because if they misposition here with a Senna, a Caitlyn, and a Diana, they just die and lose the game, right?
Absolutely. And the Leona pick is going to be just really good disengage for that Sejuani engage. So really, really liking this comp. They've got so much engage. If they just chuck the fish onto someone, so much easy follow up as well. So looking very, very good from the draft side. And I'm just a bit worried about this bot lane on Team Orion. If they get caught, Sylv, I think they're just dead.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, Talon is a very good player, and he in the last game did so much on the Seraphine. And now, if he can find an engage, you just lose, right? If you get onto the Senna.
Absolutely. And I mean, if the Senna E gets off or they all get hidden, then maybe they survive. But they've got so many things to dodge. They've got the Fizz ultimate, like you said, the movement ult coming in with their bandage toss, and um, I mean, if Jins is fighting away with his ult, Garen spinning in your face, there's a lot to deal with. But then also on the side of Team Orion, you've got Sejuani, which is swinging her flail, chucking hopefully no Smithies. Touch wood for that, but Diana being able to put down a lot of damage in the chaos as well and set with that haymaker. So
So
I mean,
obviously we got both tank junglers, right? So where do you think will they go in for terms of jungle attention? Will they go top lane, mid lane, or bot lane?
well, you have to think about it in the sense of I I think they might want to put Bob Top behind, but their win condition is the damage from the mid and the bot lane. And as we reach the later stages of the game, Set will mostly just be just disengage or just using his ultimate to peel for the carries. So I think they need to get early gold onto the Caitlyn. Sol has definitely shown an ability to carry their games and definitely is able to do so if given the opportunity to do so, but they need to put more attention onto him, I feel. Otherwise, if the bot lane is able to just control their lane like last time, even though they had some really good picks, they're just going to get run over by the rest of the map, I feel.
So also on the mid lane, we have this assassin versus assassin matchup, and Legolas in the last game on the Galio was able to get big advantages against the Silas on Nectar's side. So now he's on the Fizz, which is a big comfort pick for him. Do you think he's gonna be able to win against that Diana in the 1v1?
I mean, like you said, he picked it blind, and Diana doesn't do too badly into Fizz. Actually, generally tends to win the matchup if played correctly. But we saw the Galio pick coming in very strong there. Had a lot of playmaking potential, and like you said, he's not on something as strong as an on assassin. So if he doesn't go well, we're going to see a new side of Legolas here because he's not on that tanky, engagey, like peely mid laner that he was last time in that Galio, and isn't able to get to the fights as quickly as he was last time. So this will be a really interesting matchup. I think if Nectar is able to play the matchup without any jungle pressure from the side of Dreadnought. But then again, like you saw Corrin in the mid lane a lot, and like you said, he wants to put his attention there because they want to get the gold rolling onto his carries. So it's all to play for, I think, Sylv.
Yeah, it's all to play for as we are hopefully loading into the game very fast and then getting into it soon. And I have to shut out Legolas because he was a support main and now he's playing assassins, and I'm playing both support and mid lane in solo queue a lot. And I could never play an assassin. I'm the one playing Oriana and Seraphine in the mid lane or Lulu in the mid lane. And I could never transition to assassin. Obviously, I'm a little bit higher elo here, but still, that's actually very impressive to just switch onto assassins and
Yeah,
win
very,
games.
very different playstyles. So it's very impressive that he managed to do that. Whilst before we get into the game and just as we load up, give a big shout out to Bob's jungler, Mr. Tightness. Interesting name. But he's been playing like a beast on the Nocturnal season, and he's been doing really, really good work for the Bob side.
Yes.
Yep.
We are 10. All right, and there we go, getting into that game. And once again, we see the 5-point start for Team Orion, just like last game, but this time Bob Academy seems to do the same thing.
Very quick to the entrance points. Team Orion seem very quick to the gun. Lots of things coming out.
Wait, do you call that the same in English? Like in German, we just call it 5-point start because you block all 5 points on the map that are jungle entrances.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's
like an actual term that coaches and stuff use in Prime League.
Yeah. I mean, it is literally just covering all entrances, and you can see they're very, very split right now, and just very safe little interaction between that pig and the Fizz.
Oh! Game 1. They got a little bit more gold. That is 20 gold through the Spectral Cycle for an Equitas. And that's a goal lead for Team Orion, who basically already won this game, right?
Yep, that's it. Game's done.
Yeah. Bob's Academy
There's nothing to watch anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're opting for standard start from both sides. So Lucius from bot lane will be going in, and yeah, we're looking to see where the junglers pass. I'm hoping Corin doesn't do that similar thing with the scuttle. I think probably going to opt for standard full bot side clear. Meanwhile, he's going to go for this Krugs actually. So they're both going to clear bot side completely. Maybe look for the full clear. As we said, and we're in the patch 11.4, so the jungle XP has been slightly nerfed, and that means that these sort of junglers, the ones with base high damage and the ones that doesn't have an expensive item build, will be very impactful more so in the later stages or early stages of the game.
And what I want to highlight here is I have not seen a single Sejuani or Mumu in till preseason. And now the jungle EXP is nerfed, I see tank junglers only.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because that the golden experience just made jungle a bit poop, really. And let's just hold that for 1 second.
Good trade by Hero here.
Yeah, but yeah. So since those nerfs, that it just means that those sort of junglers just so much action. Here we go.
Getting the damage right now. The ignite is not enough in Equitas. Flashing away, but that's a really good first trade here for the bot lane of Bob Academy. Getting the flash for the ignite is definitely worth it. And once again, Tan going in here. The root from Zing lands, and that's gonna be the fourth shot not being up with yet. He's reloading, and he's not gonna be able to get the kill. Needs to watch out here, actually, as Ineco is turning it around, and that's an overstep here by the Bob Academy bot lane. Talent, good first trade, but Frederick way too aggressive here. Burns the heal and expands.
Okay, so Valance being Valance just means that we're not allowed to speak, and here we go again. They're just having a little trade up the top lane. But take homes there, like you said. Flash and heal burn on the side of Team Orion on that center. So that center does good thing Doug if she gets caught again. Whereas on the side of Bob, only ignite and heal used for them. So Flash is still up, could play very aggressively still, and leaves them open to do so.
Yeah, now Talon has the Aftershock available, and Soul Breeze is pretty low, so you could look for Soul Breeze, but he still has that cleanse to get out of the way.
Very, very quiet points in the game though, as expected. Slow starts from both junglers. They've just opted for that full side clear, and we move slightly ahead on that rotation.
And in the bot lane, Soul Breeze is actually far ahead onto Frederick right now. Has a 9 CS lead already. And is resetting. So Legolas jumping in.
You see Dreadnought's heading for that scuttle. Even bot lane heading up to give him that protection as well. They're going to get a really good reset the way he's been pushed in. And Dreadnoughts once again gets a really good start with the 2 scuttle on his first back. Whereas Sejuani will be slightly in tempo in terms of the clear speed, but really, really good XP start on the side of Mumu. Actually opts into the Grump clear, which I'm not too agreeable with, because that means he clears a lot slower, hasn't bought items yet, But let me just check real quick. Hey, he has enough money to buy Bami Cinder. I'm not sure why he didn't just back straight away.
Maybe just clearing one more camps right there. And Legolas is really low. Nectar TP to the wave already though. Oh, Hero. Good trade once again, but the Bob Top getting out of the way. And is Garen can heal up, but decides to recall right now. There's a gang from Sidrani coming in. Oh, the knockup's gonna land here onto Talon. Talon very low, has to flash out. Frederick still there. Flash from Corin once again. Talon gonna go back in, but he's gonna get out of the way. That's one kill. That's a 1-for-1 first blood to the Caitlyn. Another kill for Leona with the Ignite. And that's a good trade for Team Orion. Meanwhile, the Garen has to flash away instantly.
Not sure why Talon decided to go back in with that Zenith Blade. Oh.
Flash from Hero.
He's searching.
He's not gonna find that. But he denies the whole wave. I think that's almost worth the flush, as the Garen also has no flush here.
Yeah, so what we saw there was Talon getting a bit overzealous there with the Zenith Blade going back in despite flashing away, even after Coron has burned the flash. But we've got Legolas up here.
Getting into here, going on to Hero, landing everything, the fish lands, and that's not enough to get the kill here as Hero with a great shield. And gonna get out of that. That was a great haymaker from the Zed.
Really well played and burns the Ignite and Ultimate and the time of Legolas up there, and that gives Nectar the time to push the wave and get a good back. And much better from Team Orion in the early game aggression in this side round.
Yeah, but they still are behind in gold. As they are behind in farm everywhere. We see good trades, but they can't provide it into farm. Even Legolas, who just roamed and got nothing and lost the wave, is still even in CS to Nectar.
Yeah, but there's a kill on the side of Soulbreeze, and he's matched or just slightly ahead of Frederick in terms of gold. As like last game, top lane, I think there is just a player difference in terms of skill, and you can see that lead's being built up even though Flash was burned. And once again, Dreadnoughts is ahead on farm, but not by much, only by about 100 gold, so not too significant really in the grand scheme of things. So not too bad from Team Orion. They've got the gold where they want it, and despite the slight lead in the top lane, and it's not going to be as worse as Fed Darius, and he hasn't continually died over and over again like last game.
Yeah, Legolas winning the trades here against Nectar in the 1v1, and yeah, as you mentioned, Dreadnought ahead in farm. Why do you think is it? Is it because Corin got that one gank off and got the first blood here for the Caitlyn, or is Dreadnought just jungling better?
The scuttle just what happened was Dreadnought got the first scuttle on the top side, had the prio for that. Nectar wasn't ready to give prio to Corin for the second scuttle, so Dreadnought's just waddled over into the second side, got the scuttle, got that XP boost, especially...
Flash from Inequitas. There's Talon going in right now. That's a W landing. Thunder Waters hits big, and that's gonna be Corin going on. Talon is dying to Dreadnought, very low. There's a Jhin going in. That's a 2-for-1 right now. There's a heal coming through, and Legolas survives, and that's a 2-for-1 for Bob Academy, playing that beautiful with the Thunder Waters. Double kill for the Fist.
Yeah, you can see that he's very comfortable on that pick. Doesn't matter if it's blind pick, he looks very comfortable on that Fizz. Just a shame that Frederick doesn't get any of the gold, and is still ironically behind gold in terms of Soul Breeze, but money going on to that Fizz is going to be very scary.
Yeah, another kill. The kill from our Team Orion was on the Diana, so that's also very good for them, but in the end it's a good trade. Another trade from Hero against the Bob Top. Not getting the better. Solarfly landing here. There's a curtain call coming out, and that's gonna be another kill. Frederick collects that one, and that's a big overstep for Soulbreeze.
This sniper over here, every single shot, as he should. And bear in mind that Soulbreeze was CC'd for a large part of that. But gold finally coming over onto Frederick, and does overtake him in terms of gold. So again, money coming onto the carries on the side of Bob, and it's just not looking too good from the side of Orion if it's happening this early on.
I actually think in the top lane, Hero playing the trades way better than the Bob Top. He's falling behind in CS for some reason. I think that's just like bad CSing from him here.
I think the trades are being taken slightly out of the way, so he's just actually losing out on it sometimes. And Yeah, it might just be in part just due to just missing CS, honestly.
And the 10-minute mark approaching, we once again have a one-shot low game. There's a flash from Talon going in here with the top of flash from Nectar. He's gonna get the ultimate here down. Talon oversteps once again. That's gonna be a kill for Nectar. Oh, Current collects that one.
Oh,
that's the Xmizzy we didn't want it to see. But today was the Moonfall.
It was Fizz, isn't Fizz? Just it's an annoying thing. Fizz is just so obnoxious. You know, just I'm gonna chuck my abilities at you. Nope. I'm just gonna go up on my stripper pole and just come down again.
And Nectar with a great Moonfall to keep Talon on the tower for just one more hit, collecting the kill onto him and getting a kill back for Team Orion. But as the 10-minute mark approach, we have a 2,000 gold lead for Team Bob Academy, mostly on the Fizz, I believe. Yeah, most 500 gold on the Fizz, 700 gold on the Garen. That's what the farm difference makes.
Yeah, and I think you can see that. What I like to see actually, or rather, is hold that thought.
Oh, another great engage from Talon, flash from Breeze, going down, and that's Frederick flashing as well. And on the top line, it goes on and on. There's a Sidrani landing the stun, but Garen is able to get out of that with a great courage use.
Yes, absolute excellent use of that. Like hits those Zenith blades over and over.
Oh yeah, curtain call coming out in Equitas should be down. Oh, can he land the shots? That's a stun, and that's gonna be the kill. But it collects it. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, the Garen going back in together with Dreadnought, and that's 2 more kills for Bob Academy over the map.
Kills all across the board, and Bob once again are taking over the early game. Even though they like playing for late, I'm sure they love this early gold on them as well. So very, very good stuff from the side of Bob Academy. Great
gameplay from them right here.
But as I was saying, as we've got a bit of time, as people start beginning their resets, I'm glad to see, at least even though Hero did have a very, very tough time in the last game, is not shy of those fights, keeps taking the fights to Garen. Does need to be a bit more aggressive, I feel, especially with the champion that he's playing on, but definitely good to see him at least not shying away completely from fighting at all.
But once again, he's 1,500 gold behind. Garen got the kill here in the top lane, and that's not ideal, let's say it like that.
Absolutely, and you can just see, I don't think it's worth, if you're Sejuani or Koran, to just go up to this top side anymore. I think Hero just has to do his best to keep the stunt the bleeding, try not to give any plates over onto Garen, but need to, like I said, focus the bot side, and he hasn't done much of that. He came over on the early in the first time, but hasn't really revisited the lane, so needs to use his ultimate more in the bot side, especially knowing that the flashes are down on the bot side.
Yeah, and that's Garen going in now, and Hero needs to watch out. He is down so much gold, and that might be a solo kill here for the Bob top laner. No, Hero flashes out. We also have to watch out for the bot lane at the same time, because Talon and Frederick are slaughtering Soul Breeze in the Nectar so far. Legolas going on Nectar, doesn't let Memphis come to the water, and that's Ignite going on Moonfall, not enough, and Legolas scaring away a little bit. The Zen ultimate keeps him alive. There's can he hit the shot? 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's missed, and Nectar gets away of this.
Unfortunate, but really, really well played from the side of Bob. Oh, here we go again.
Current going in onto Legolas. He can E out Playful Trickster. Should be available any second there. He has a stun available, but can't follow up on this. And there's the 4-man squad from Bob Academy. The Mumu hitting the Q. The Zenith Blade lands once again, and there's a bouncing grenade. Getting another kill. Dreadnought collects that, and that's Bob Academy taking over once again in this mid game.
To be said, even though Talon does find himself to be a bit too aggressive at times, has really hit those time and time again.
Oh, the Garen going in. Courage is already down. The ultimate should land on Hero as soon as the shield is down. He's gonna ult, and he's gonna get the kill. And that's a solo kill for the Garen. No flash from the last trade, and the Bob top once again just punishes it.
Well, Garen's a very mechanical champion, so he clearly outskilled him there with his mechanics by pressing R.
I mean, Decisive Strike, Judgment, and the Mass Injustice is just too strong. In the
so just get outskilled, Step.
Oh, that's extremely
Oh,
unfortunately.
no!
Oh, they agreed for the turn though, and they're not gonna get that one. Getting out of the way here, but that was scary for a moment. Dreadnought in the mid lane, me-sold it, and I like that from our team Orion, that they now just push into the mid lane, getting to Talon, hitting the stun, going back in with the Zenith Blade, the turret is there, Shadow Waters hits, and that's gonna be another kill on Corrin.
Tower goes down as well. Oh, on the side of Team Orion, they pick up the mid lane. Oh, but oh, here's a Garen in your face!
Oh no! No, run! Run!
Oh no!
Oh no, that's it. That's gotta be at least 2 kills for Bottom. Oh, actually, Caitlyn gonna get 1 kill back, hitting and hitting away, but the Garen gets the double kill here, and that's a 2-for-1 for Bob Academy. A good return kill from Soulbreeze, who does so much damage. I was not expecting that there.
So it was looking so good, I have to say. I was liking it from Orion. We did say their comp was a bit of a mismatch, but they were making good plays, and then Bob just doing Bob things, I guess, and they just take full control of the game once more. 15 minutes into the end, there's been a
Oh,
pause.
there's a pause. Top lane lagging, and I think I now know the 200 ping meme that they told us.
Yeah, so
because Curran is from South Africa.
Yeah. Soulbreeze briefly talked about this 200 ping meme, but we had no idea what that was until now.
Yeah, we're gonna have a pause, and we can talk about the game state right now. I think we have Bob Academy being up about 6,000 to 7,000 gold right now, 6,400 to be exact, and they have 2 dragons as well. They have a super fat Garen once again, who's 3,000 gold ahead onto the Z. They have a Fizz that's reasonable fat, and they have an absolute monster of a Jhin, who's also way ahead of the Caitlyn, who isn't even that behind in the game.
Yeah, but Caitlyn has this weird spot when she has very strong laning phase, and then she'll pick up an item, but she just can't compete with the other ADCs once she's picked up that one item. So, although not too far behind in gold and kills, isn't as strong, obviously, and isn't able to put out that much damage, especially when Garen is so far ahead, when Amumu is just going to get very tanky. It's slightly behind the curve, and you want to be ahead in gold with Caitlyn. So, not looking too great for the side of Team Orion, and their damage dealers just aren't able to output enough to just destroy the carries of the side of Bob. And Bob are looking very, very strong, like you said. A lot of money onto the Fizz right now. Jhin looking very, very strong. Garen able to run just about anybody over right now. So, the captain leading by example and just doing Bob things.
And once again, I would like to say that Bob Academy looks like they are playing as a team. Meanwhile, Team Orion, Nagda is doing plays alone, Soulbreeze and Iniquitas trying to go for or getting engaged in the 2v2 that they shouldn't ever take. They should just stay back. Here we're going for 1v1s that he can take. And they are a mess. They are just trying to do things alone, or Bob Academy plays as a team.
Yeah, and definitely agree with that. Like we said, we saw the Sejuani tried to 1v1 the Fizz, which I was a bit confused about. If you were really, really fed, maybe, but as already behind as you are, that's definitely not the fight you want to be going for or funneling for either. Like I said, they needed to put more emphasis on their bot lane, and they didn't, and their bot lane got completely run over with that engage from once they got a few kills under their belt. Then the side of Bob's bot lane just completely ran over Soulbreeze and Senna. So we said it's all to play for, but it's the ballpark's looking very much in the side of Bob, and 2 dragons picked up already. The next one's coming up in the next 3 minutes, but honestly, what I want to see Bob now do to just propel this forward is pick up that Rift Herald, and what they could use that to break the mid lane open. Hopefully not use it the way it was used last time because it didn't get popped at all. But if they're able to get their Rift Herald, be able to blast open their mid lane, will give them much more vision control. They can look for picks. They are very, very good at picking people off with their team as well. A lot of CC, a lot of damage coming up for them. So they should be looking to propel this further, getting the Rift, bursting the map open, especially making that mid lane very, very wide and accessible, making it very, very scary for the Team Orion to even just walk into their jungle. In terms of Team Orion, what do you think they need to do?
I'm not really sure. I guess I would say they have to look for picks, but they can't really with their comp because they can't catch a Fizz at all, and they can't really go onto a Garen without needing like 40 seconds to get a kill, and then they would have to lose like the rest of the map. And Frederick will always stay together with Talon and Dreadnoughts, and that's a scary combo to get into. So it looks very, very grim for Team Orion. And I gotta say, I probably blame the draft. Team Bob Academy has way better drafts in this series so far.
Definitely, for sure. They're able to support their bot lane, but also their solo laners are very, very just able to just carry out their lanes. Bob Top is level 12 compared to the side of Senna's level 7. 1Q would probably half her health. So it's looking very, very scary. Strikebreaker Q, probably ult would just destroy Senna. Well, it's not even worth killing Senna at this point. But yeah, like we said, gold really needs to be put onto Caitlyn. If I was even Caitlyn, I would let her just take all the farm at this point and not really worry about everyone else, because that's the only source of damage that is really going to be coming from. Diana will be diving in, but won't be really getting much done. Will get locked down by the Mumu as well. So I think the priorities, they picked a comp that was to help allow their bot lane to hit from afar, but if they're not going to put the money onto the bot lane, nothing's going to be hitting from afar anyways. If they're going to be tickling them, throwing popcorn at them, then you know, like they picked, like you said, the comp was wrong, and they played the game out wrong as well. So just kudos to Bob for playing out their comp and just executing it really well.
Yeah, for everyone wondering why we are saying Bob Top, it's because his name is KRZWK or Krzvk.
Yeah, we have no idea to say it. I'm not going to try.
Yeah, if we get an interview of him, I'm going to ask how to pronounce his name. But
I bet you he doesn't even have to say it himself.
Yeah, I bet too.
He probably fell asleep when he made his name. And just we'll go with that.
You should probably change it just so the casters can pronounce it better, right?
Yeah, we'll call him K.
Okay.
We'll go with K. Hero has reconnected, and it looks like we should be ready to start soon.
Yeah, as we hopefully get back into the game anytime soon. And yeah, Riot is already trying to troll casters enough with the names of all the Ornn items. With, of course, my favorite being the Sai G, which is the upgrade of Eclipse.
I really like
Sai G.
Gale Force. You know how Gale Force becomes Typhoon? Is that so cool?
Yeah, that's actually cool, yeah. There are a few really cool ones. Oh, we're gonna head back in. I also like the Moonstone, which becomes Starcaster.
Alright, so we said what we wanted to see. Oh, here we go. Quite ready.
We're gonna see Legolas basically forcing out Nectar, getting the stopwatch in the process.
And we are heading for the Rift, exactly what I wanted to see. Hopefully they use this mid and it crashes into the tower to break that mid tower lane open. It gives them full, pretty much control of the map. I want to see more pink wards coming out, or control wards rather, just showing them complete dominance over a side of the map where they were able to look for their picks and just push the game open.
Yeah, Shamble Waters landing onto Soulbreeze. He doesn't have any heal available, and that should be a kill. No, Legolas doesn't hit it. There's a good Sedrani ultimate here by Corrin, and that's gonna be one kill by Caitlyn. Will get engaged by Talon, who just soloed him in the backline, but he's now alone, and Dreadnought's actually getting in here. The Yenna is on the way. There's Corrin also coming here, who gets another kill back. It's a 1-for-1 so far, 1-for-2 actually, and Bob Academy coming back in, Dreadnought hitting another Q. There's the W, the root lands, and that's another kill for Frederick with the auto attacks. 4-shot is enough to collect that kill.
Oh, so much damage coming down. I'm not sure if Soul didn't see Talon just coming up to bop him on the head, but there we see the Rift Tower pop. Mid lane's gonna get popped wide open, and it's not looking good for Team Orion.
And Dreadnought's once again looking for these engages with the bandage toss, but does not find it so far. Another Herald will pop here, and Garen just running at them just to prevent them from going. They can collect the Senna Souls here on the side of Team Orion, so that's something at least, but it's already 8k gold. Bandage toss misses the flash. does not connect either. Dreadnought alone running in, only hitting the Sedrani, that's getting out. There's the Shamble Warders hitting onto Current. Current is the first one to fall in the backline. However, Inequitas gonna fight the Mumu. Nectar is very low. There's the ultimate. There's another kill for Bob Academy, who are just running over this game. Another engage from Talon. Zenith Blade's gonna land. They're gonna go in once again. And Dreadnought's actually gonna die here. Legolas very low, and that might be the turnaround. That might be the overstep for Bob Academy. Can they get Legolas here? They can. Senna collecting that kill for the team, and that's a 2 for 2 in this fight, but they are not done. The hero going in. Garen once again has so much damage available. Hero lives. There's the Senna going, getting another shutdown, getting all the kills here. Talon will die. Curtain Call going out, but they should be able to get out here, and that's a 4 for 2 for Team Orion.
What the hell just happened? Wait, absolute chaos, Sylph. Bob not playing to their strengths. They're so strong as a 5 right now. I don't know why they're in separate fights. There were so many different fights going on over there. You've got Legolas on one side of the map. You've got Hero on the other side, and just in a different fight, on their own little fight going on. And Soulbreeze fighting Frederick the Pig, and just Bob with their goal advantage, with how strong they are, should not be splitting up like that, because it gives the Orion, who are very good at little skirmishes like that, a chance to get back into the game.
Yeah, and Senna picked up so many kills. On the other hand, I don't want to know how much gold Team Bob Academy had when they took that fight. I saw that Frederick had 2.6k gold when he was back in base. And I think there was an almost even fight gold-wise. Oh, another ultimate lands from the Sedrani. There's the bandage toss going on. Dreadnought's almost getting taken down here in the backline. It's a first kill for Soulbreeze. It's a 2 for 1 so far. Fist getting 1 kill back. Legolas is alone here, gonna get killed, and that's a 3 for 1 once again for Team Orion, who keeps chasing forward. Frederick's very low. There's another stun going out, but Frederick collecting the Sedrani in the back, and Caitlyn ultimate going down. Another 4 for 2 right now. There's a judgment going on, but Silver's leaves, and it's an ace for Team Orion, who are getting the comeback on right now.
This is the comeback from 7k below. Now they're closing the gap to 4k. They get themselves a dragon, which stilts the Dragon Soul getting taken from Bob Soul. It just delays that a bit longer, and we are all to play for here back on. I'm loving this.
Wow. And Dreadnought this time not playing well. Doesn't get the Curse of the Set Mummy off. Dies instantly almost, and yeah. Really good gameplay here by
the Inequitas take a kill from Soulbreeze when that ultimate was definitely going to kill. So not sure why they're doing that. That stifling gold from the Caitlyn, who definitely is the gold. You can see bot lane definitely doing a lot of damage. All the gold is on this side of the bot lane and on the Team Orion, but I'm not quite sure about that decision. Kill is definitely going to go over to the Caitlyn, so Inequitas taking that kill. Not really sure. Maybe getting a bit greedy on that support.
I mean, Senna's also a big carry right now. She has Kraken Slayer, she has the Wage Blade, so Exodia's ready. On the other hand, Cohen, we talked a lot about him not playing so well, but this time, great Glacial Prison here. Small word slip right now, and Dreadnought getting that blue buff, I believe, yes. And Team Orion, small comeback, only 3,000 gold behind now from almost 10,000 gold. They fight back, but here's the Garen going in onto the Senna, who's peeling back. There's a teleport coming in here. I believe that's Hero, but he's alone and just getting killed right now. Gracious Blizzard. Wow, what a moon drop here from the Diana. Great ultimate from Delta. Current gets 1 kill. It's another great fight for Team Orion. The Garrett is in the backline, but he's alone. Nectar, will he fall? No, he's not. Another stun going down. Triple kill for Current. Will he get Rani pentakill right now? Legolas going in onto the Caitlyn, but he can't connect. The Soulbreeze gets another kill. 4 for 1 for Team Orion, who has
should just get Baron for free here.
Can they get the Baron? Dreadnought is obviously still up. Can go for a steal. Great from Inequitas to destroy that blast plant.
Okay, let's back it up here. From 7k to 4k to closing the gap to 2k now. The comeback is on, and they are playing it absolutely well. Oh, Dreadnoughts gets picked off here. Had absolutely no reason to be around. Very unlikely to get the steal off, and it is all to play for.
Yeah, and now it's a completely even game. And Team Orion just fighting back, and Bob Academy now look completely flabbergasted that there's a little bit of resistance coming in.
To be honest here, it looks a little bit like Bob are getting a bit complacent, getting a little bit maybe overzealous with how they're positioning, how they're standing. They should not get caught like that in the space of their jungle. They should be running as a 5. They don't want to be fighting in those small spaces. That Sejuani ult can be fatal if they get caught in that. And as you saw, massive Diana ult comes down, followed by that Sejuani, and the Haymaker comes down, and lots and lots of damage coming out from this other team. Orion and Caitlyn and Sten are doing lots and lots of work here.
But in the 1v1, the Garen should still have the upper hand, right? No, the Conqueror going down, and the Garen actually has to back away. But here comes Bob Academy, the reinforcements are on, and there might be another big team fight.
See the bulk's being picked up by the set, so in the 1v1 he's actually quite strong, especially with those empowered Q hits. And no armor being picked up from the side of top, other than Deadman's Plate, which doesn't offer too much, so isn't too tanky.
Going in? Oh, flash, great flash here by K, who's getting out of this Diana ultimate right now. And the Moonfall is now down, so maybe Bob Academy can look for a fight. I must say though, in the last fight I thought Hero would go down with the teleport, but it turns out it was a bait. That's a Wombo combo from Team Orion with the Glacial Prison into the Moonfall, killing everyone. Dawning Shadow coming in.
You wouldn't have thought it, but as we reach the mid-late stages of the game, it's like my ranked games, it's just straight bot diff, and Caitlyn and Senna are doing so much work here.
But now, Team Orion hasn't done much with the Baron buff yet, so...
Nope, it seems to be a Baron anti-play, just kidding. But Dragon is coming up in the next 20 seconds,
so far it is.
Be our next fight.
I mean, so far it is. It was 200 gold behind when they got the Baron, and now they are 800 behind. Or 600, so it's actually a minus play.
They actually just wanted it to recall really quickly.
Oh, teleport coming in, that's another good Soulflare, doesn't let, but Inequitas falling down first, the center is dead, Soulbeast in the backline, kiting it out, will go down to the Jhin, and that's a good fight for Bob Academy, who are fighting back once again. Hero can connect on the next kill, that's a triple kill for Team Bob Academy, that's a 4-for-1 for Bob Academy, and once again, the game swings in favor of Bob Academy.
I mean, I've lost herself. I don't know what Team Orion are doing. They're not peeling for their win condition, which is their bot lane. Absolutely all over the place, really. And once you get a disjointed fight like that, Bob is just free to run over you.
Yeah, you can't have Inequitas going down first, because then you lack the damage. Soulbeast also not able to do any damage in that fight. So Bob Academy takes Sir Drake, Iron Soul 0.9, and it's a Ocean Soul, and that's very scary to fight against, especially with a Garen and then a Mumu in the anime team.
We've been talking about this comp over and over, Soph, and we're saying they've got lots of engage. They want to go in, and you've got Caitlyn and Senna like hitting on the backside from afar. If you're not going to protect them either, then they're just going to get absolutely dove by the Fizz, and then after that, you're going to be thinking you're in the middle of the fight. Caitlyn and Senna, we've got them. They're back, but wait, they're not hitting anymore. They're dead. You got no more damage to follow you up on, so not really sure what they were thinking in the minds of them walking up like that.
And I must say, the first game was a little bit too clean for Valorant standard, so they decided to get up to the normal Valorant League standard here with the throws and the going in and out. And
this is like true rank style.
Oh, Garen doing so much damage with the Justice. Haymaker coming out, and that's to getting out of the way once again.
You can see that Bob Top's not actually looking to continue fighting. A little bit worried actually about that extended engage after his cooldowns are down. And I think we're going to be looking forwards that we want to see Vision move towards the top side as Baron comes up, and if Bob are able to get this Baron, if they're able to get the early Vision in and control that area, get some early picks before the fight even begins, then that could look like they could use the Baron to end the game.
And now 3,500 gold, which does it mean a lot in this stage of the game? No, right?
At this stage of the game, not really. I mean, set is still fairly strong, as we can see, even though the Garen is 3k ahead of him, he's actually able to hold his own, which just shows how much of a stupid champ that is. There's so much damage on the side of Caitlyn and Senna, who are able to put out a lot if they're able, and if they're given time to just free hit as they fight with... Hold that thought. No, he just takes a little bit of damage, they just tickle him and just wave him goodbye. But if Caitlyn and Senna are able to hit from the backside, they're able to continually just have that freedom to do that, then they're able to get a lot of damage off. But as we've seen from the side of Bob, they have so much engage and so many slippery tools to get onto those carries.
Oh, Dreadnought's not hitting the bandage just here, and the Nexus going away has to flash out instantly. And that might be the Baron. The teleport coming out from Hero here. I don't think they saw it on the side of Bob Academy that he teleported from base. So, let's play a guessing game. Who do you think is the player with the lowest gold apart from Leona?
Without looking at... looking at the map, probably have to go Sejuani. Sejuani hasn't been farming that much, hasn't...
It's Diana.
Oh, but
Diana,
how far off?
300 gold of Sejuani. Sejuani is...
oh, of course, Sejuani got 4 kills, of course.
Only 700 gold ahead of on talent.
And we didn't get the Sejuani pentakill dream, so...
Yeah. The shutdown's taking a big role here. In the almost pentakill, and it seems like they are going for a death trap. Is there a blue trinket available? Yeah, Caitlyn can blue trinket that out. And should do it. Oh, but it's here, we're going in, Chandler Waters going out. That's a good bouncing grenade, and that's an instant kill on the top laner of Team Orion. Oh, it's a good ultimate. The Solar Flare lands, and that's a judgment going down. The Soul Breeze should be down here. That's the judgment. Finishing the kill, and Dreadnought's ulting with the band with this Curse of the Samani, and I think they can look for the end right now. It's a 3-4-0, but they decide to go for the safe call and the Baron. The Master Justice. Oh, Legolas. Aggressive here. And it's a Baron. Easy Baron here for Team Bob Academy, who are taking the game right back.
I think Bob Academy have had a little group huddle. They're like, right boys, no more inting. Let's we don't want to give this game over to the opponent today. We want to have our dinner now. We want to go to sleep. Whatever it is they need to do, and I think they're definitely looking to close the game out with this Baron, as Ocean Soul is there for the taking.
I mean, I think they could have finished there. They had like 30 seconds on 3 members. So
These could have got an inhibitor for sure, yeah.
Yeah. And
but
now
I think this is okay. They wanted to get the reset, they got the Ocean Soul, and I think they'll just run it down. And they should be able to run them over, especially with the Ocean Soul.
But I think right now Team Orion has another chance of fighting this. They have to, right?
Not like this.
Oh, they're scaring going into the backline, but everyone getting out of the way. Is it Senna? Is alive, the Caitlyn is hitting free. Oh, that's a great sniper, Frederick, with the curtain call. Chandler Waters going down, and Senna is dead. The Ocean Soul is down, and the hope for Team Orion is basically not there anymore.
It's not picked up by Bob Academy.
Oh, they are flanking and flashing from Talon, hitting the Caitlyn. Insanely well timed, the Moonfall going down, but it won't do not. That's a Demacian power going away, and that's a ace for Team Bob Academy. Everyone is alive. They are running down the bot lane, and they should be able to close.
They have no wave. Their wave is all the way. Bot tower. And the towers, of course, are very tanky.
No
minions. Bob, what are you doing?
Get the minion waves. You could have finished this. But still, it's a 5-for-1. The gold lead back to 9,000, and Team Orion fighting back in the mid game, and then Bob Academy just stomps on them once again.
Okay, we've got a bit of time to assess here. So, Team Orion, at least the positives they can take back from the second game is that they played far better in this game. They adapted really well actually to the first game. First game they got completely demolished, but you can see them put up a much better fight here. Look for the plays, look for usage of the early aggression that they like doing. But Bob, if we're honest here, gave them a little bit of wiggle room, but Team Orion definitely capitalized on that. But Bob are looking to close the game out here. Inhibitor taken down, and they should use their side lane push on that, especially with the teleport available for Bob top.
What do you think managed Team Orion to get that comeback in the mid game, even though they are now falling behind? And why are they falling behind now again?
Well, if you saw that they had some really, really good engages and really good picks where they were on the same page, where Bob just looked disjointed for some reason, and there was a fight in the mid lane where there was 3 separate fights going on, which didn't quite make sense, when they should really at that point in the game be fighting together as 5 because of their comp allows them to just run over a full 5-on-5 team fight. So Bob just weren't playing to their strength, and they weren't playing to their win condition, which allowed Team Orion, which with their, remember we said if they get their Caitlyn and their Senator free hit from behind, can actually output a lot of damage, but obviously that requires them to play their comp out correctly, and as we saw.
It's Valence League. Do you know what I see?
What do you see?
An Elder flip. They're gonna flip it, and Elder it's gonna get stolen, and Nectar gonna get a pentakill.
You're
I'm
right
gonna
here.
call that.
For sure.
I'm gonna call that right now.
That'll be up in 3 minutes and 20 seconds still. So
I mean, Bob Academy doesn't look to do anything right now. So they're pushing that tier 2, but they don't seem to go for another inhibitor. And I think you should just drop that tier 2 if you are... Oh, they try to go in.
Team Orion should fight here.
He's going in.
Oh,
that's
no.
Another Zenith Blade. That's a Fizz, and that's immediately an Equitas down. Soul Breeze will die as well. And you can't just go in without checking the wall. Nectar, good ultimate, but it's just not enough. Frederick still alive and breathing. Another kill for Bob Academy. It's a 3-4-0. It's gonna be a 4-4-0. Curtain Call will it Hero, who has a good haymaker but doesn't kill it. And that's... Oh, he's gonna get out here with the showstopper? No,
Go to
Gavin will
mid Bob,
chase him
just
down.
go to mid Bob and end the game. Nope, they want kills, fair enough.
They're gonna go for the kills, they're gonna go for the top lane actually, instead of going mid. And that should still be the game for Team Bob Academy. Winning this 2-0 and moving up in the Valence League standings.
Slight edge. Their first 2-0 of this split actually, but looking very, very strong against Team Orion, definitely able to abuse a relatively new team.
They want more? No, they're just gonna finish that Solar Flare landing, and that's 2-0 for Team Bob Academy, who are just winning this. Do you know where the main Bob team is playing? I couldn't find them on Valence League. Or did they just call themselves Bob Academy because Bob is the best? And he's alone in the main team.
I don't know, Bob is just probably just doing Bob things, and I'm sure he's very proud of Bob Academy for doing Bob things as well.
Alright. I have skip rating for stats, so I can't really do anything.
I'm not able to access those statistics either, but what a game! Actually very pleased with that, aren't you, yourself?
Oh, yeah, I'm actually very pleased from this, because the last time I casted this was a total mess. It was like throw after throw, and this one was basically medium throw. And I get informed by production that Bob has a team in the lower division of Prime League, which is a thing I usually cast in. I cast like higher division of Prime League a lot on the German scene.
Yeah.
So I might get in contact with them at one point.
And you know, their captain said that all of them are looking to impress. They want to stake a claim for a spot in the main team, and some people definitely doing that over here today. And definitely in the form of Bob Top. It's so fun to say that, isn't it, Bob Top? But definitely a really great performance on him. I still amazed how he just... I mean, Darius is a counterpick to Cho'Gath, but I mean, I haven't seen any history of that at all, and he just completely ran it over. So, Bob Top for me, very, very good.
Okay, we're gonna get an interview every minute now, and it's gonna be with Bob's top laner, so we can ask him how his name is pronounced.
Perfect. So we get the real pronunciation instead of Bob Top.
Yeah.
Although I recommend saying Bob Top. Bob Top is really fun to say,
Yeah,
and
true.
I think it should be used, and that should actually be.
I'm gonna still greet him with KRZWK.
Okay. Good luck. That's all I can say.
As production will hopefully move. Oh, we are in. He's in interview waiting room already, so production can move him. And welcome KRZWK. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Because Kritzwick is actually the correct pronunciation.
Oh, so it's completely like German.
But I won't bother with that. It's totally fine if you call it.
I mean, I'm German, so I can Kritzwick. Hello.
I know.
I think I'm gonna stick with Bob Top.
Yeah,
that's fine. It's fine.
So congratulations first for the 2-0.
Thank you.
And yeah, we're gonna ask you played two very, very strong lane champions. Was that because you were really confident in just crushing hero in the top lane?
Nah, mostly we. To be honest, my role in our team is mostly just to fill in the blanks wherever they're needed. So I'll just pick whatever the team needs in a moment. We felt we needed a little pressure on one of our lanes, and champ with a little more damage potential. And
have you ever played Darius before?
Yes. But that's basically my. To be honest, from now on, probably will be ruined for me in VL. But yeah, that's my go-to pick for the league right now. I've been practicing a lot in scrims and all that, and yeah, I mean, my thing is basically I'll play whatever. It changes from week to week. Right now it's Darius. Next week.
So you stomped the first game. Basically, you just outscaled them and got ahead early. But in the second game, you were ahead so much, and then Team Orion got back into the game somehow through a few of your misplays. Were your team worried at any time that you could lose that game?
Yes, completely. We did the reverse pop, as we call it, because normally we used throw early game, come back mid a little, act like we have a chance, and then completely fuck up our late game. But this time we did it the other way around. We thought a little mid game action to make the game more exciting wouldn't hurt, and yeah, that's what we did. We completely threw the game mid. We even I think I don't know the gold numbers, but I think we almost evened it out at this point.
Yeah, it was 200 gold after the Baron.
And,
yeah, you went from 7k to 200.
From 9k actually.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah, that was really awful. We just didn't really know what to do with ourselves, and then to be honest, we probably just got a bit cocky.
Yeah, we did briefly talk about that, didn't we, Sylvan? What was going through your head? Talk me through what was going through your head at that point. So you're very, very ahead, 9k ahead actually, at early game, and you're heading into that mid-late game stage. Took a few fights, lost them.
Mm-hmm.
What was going through your heads at that point?
Yeah, we were a little bit in panic mode, but that's what Bob does best to realize we're throwing, because we got a lot of practice in throwing. But so that's basically our strongest point. So we just talked it through. We just we had to realize we were doing it as we were doing it, and we from this point on the concentration was probably at its highest point in the whole series, and we just focused and powered through and did our best to not completely.
I got one more question for you. Afterwards, it's up for my co-caster to maybe ask another one, or we're gonna wrap this up. And that's for your next two games. You're first playing Opinion's Boomers, who are currently sitting in last place, and then you are playing the so far undefeated Prime Tails. What is your expectation going into the last week, especially? Do you think you can take them down?
Of course, Bob can take everyone down if they are willing. It's basically for us. We are really swinging in our performances. We have weeks where we just play awful, and we are weeks where we are basically unstoppable. This week was a good one. We don't know what next week or the week after that will hold. Only time will tell. The Bob is a fickle mistress.
All right, so I think JS doesn't have any more questions, so we're gonna wrap this up. And thank you for joining us here. Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah. So this is the first time my parents were actually watching the stream, so I hope you all behaved in chat. But I promised them I'll get them a shout out. So shout out to my parents and my brother and his girlfriend who are actually watching right now. Yeah, we won. This one's for you. And I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So it's good that parents support that, because my parents totally do not, or at least my dad doesn't, because
Yeah.
And we're gonna wrap this up for now, and I will just say thank you for joining us here today. Congratulations to win once again.
Thank you very much.
And yeah,
it was a pleasure.
That's it for Valence League week number 4, Division 3B right now. And once again, I'd like to remind you that you can always follow our casters on Twitter. That's me for Sylphcast at Sylphcast, and that's JS with the Twitter handle that I actually don't know. You can tell that right there if you know
Boberinos, JSBOBERINOS.
And another shout out to our production, to obviously Blaze, who did a very good job with that stream, and we gotta wrap this up. And I say thank you for everyone watching.
Good night.